Previously on Big Brother International Season 3. As the house sends home house target after house target, the trend was bound to continue as many started seeking their sights on Ian as nobody had any clue what did he do with power. But Carmen and Melody continued to be general targets for people, including Roddy and Martino, who really wanted Carmen gone. After a puzzling nominator challenge, Crystal won power for a second time and nominated Carmen and Melody once again, and put Ian up as someone the house agreed they want on the chopping block. Despite many wanting Ian gone, Florence pushed for Melody to go home as he saw Ian as a number for his game. He gathered his allies and got their votes. However, it wasn't enough, as at the eviction ceremony, Ian was sent home with 9 votes against Melody's 6 votes. After Ian was evicted, he got to pick the next round's secret assassin. Who did Ian pick? And will the trend of house targets going home continue? Find out on today's episode.
This is a summary and recap of Big Brother International Season 3, Episode 6, Night 11. It's no secret that people will do whatever they want at eviction votes. Drake in particular realizes this as he tells Mario about how the cast is extremely strong gameplay-wise, which is both great and bad. However, one person may disagree with that. B. Marie points out to Eliza that a group of people continue to vote Carmen at evictions, and Eliza theorizes that the guys are working together and trying to pull in Melody as an extra number. That's why Eliza felt like she had to vote Melody out. Meanwhile, Charlie, Melody, and Cassandra solidify a truce with one another. Melody tells them she is down to work with them. However, she refuses to be associated with Carmen. Of course, Cassandra and Charlie want to have Carmen in their back pockets, but they don't mind if Melody refuses to work with her. Carmen talks with Florence later on as she tries to figure out why she has been nominated over and over again. Apart from Crystal winning 2 challenges and putting her up twice, Florence advises that she watches out because with house targets leaving one after another, they are bound to run out, leaving just Carmen to go home. Carmen understands and seeks for some protection from Florence if he were to win a nominator challenge. Let's take a look at something unrelated to gameplay. Hannah has a soft moment with Sammy as she reveals to him her mental health has been getting worse in the house. Sammy cares about her a lot and tells her to stay strong. He even offers to be a rock for her if she ever needs to go through her problems with someone. Hannah of course appreciates this from Sammy. Back to the game, things ramp up as Martino starts to campaign against Carmen to Charlie. He tells Charlie it's about time she goes home because the longer she stays, the more dangerous she becomes for anyone sitting next to her on eviction night. Not even 10 minutes later, Charlie spills this information to various people, including Eliza, who then tells them she had a feeling the guys were creating an army to protect themselves. Eliza lets Charlie know they need to get him out so he's not playing the game with people like Roddy, Mario, and Drake. Day 12 arrives, and it's time for the nominator challenge. House guests will go up 4 at a time to open a gift of choice from a batch in front of them. These 4 are determined by random draw. The person with the highest valued item will move on, while the other 3 are out. The last 2 players remaining at the end of the challenge will both be nominators. This means they will each nominate one person for eviction. In addition, this round has another secret assassin, who will nominate a 3rd person in secret. Tomorrow, a safety challenge will be held as it's round 6 in the game. Multiple rounds go by. It begins with Mario moving on, then Pascal, then B. Marie, then Sammy, and in a final round between Cassandra, Sammy, B. Marie, and Melody, B. Marie wins the final round. Also to note, Charlie never got picked to compete in any round, meaning they also win by default. This means Charlie and B. Marie are the 2 nominators this round. Charlie ends up nominating first, and they nominate Roddy as someone who might be part of a guy's alliance. B. Marie does something similar by nominating a guy, but this person is someone she doesn't have the closest relationship with, and that's Sammy. Then, the secret assassin nominates a 3rd houseguest for eviction, and it ends up being Eliza. So who exactly got the secret assassin power from Ian? It turns out that Florence won it and nominated Eliza in secret as he has noticed her pacing around the house lately, spying on various houseguests to see who they chat with. He also knows she's close with many people in the house, including Sammy, who is also nominated for eviction currently. In the house, people discuss the secret nomination of Eliza as nobody expected it to happen. Hannah and Charlie are two people shocked by this, and as a result hope it's Roddy who goes home tomorrow and not Eliza. Sammy later chats with Pascal and Hannah about his confusion with these nominations. He senses that the house might be grouping the BBI Season 1 players together, but he completely denies any association with them, which is only partially true in actuality as he's definitely still close to Eliza. Meanwhile, Roddy tries to comprehend his nomination, so he talks with Charlie to see what's up. Charlie lets him know the truth. They tell him he's too much of a social and strategic threat, so they need him gone this round. Roddy nods and wishes Charlie luck getting rid of him tomorrow. Roddy later goes to Cassandra to rant about how he feels like Carmen is brainwashing many players this season, including Charlie. He sees these nominations as Carmen's. Cassandra straight up tells him Carmen doesn't have as much power in the game as he wants to think, but he doesn't believe her. Night 12. Martino and Drake are both close to Roddy on a game level, so they discuss needing him in the game still. They also see Sammy as a useful number for them, so the ideal result tomorrow night would be to send Eliza packing. Meanwhile, Eliza starts a bit of her campaign already as she chats with Florence and Pascal to secure their votes. Of course, the both of them say they will. Pascal is honest about it, but he doesn't know his closest ally and friend Florence is the secret assassin who is targeting her. This later leads to a conversation between Florence, Cassandra, and Sammy as Florence starts to push for Eliza to be the one to go home. Cassandra and Sammy both do not mind sending her home because they are seeing some red flags from her. Sammy feels like she has been purposely distancing herself from him lately without warning him about it, especially since he thought they were tight. Cassandra, on the other hand, has felt like Eliza has been acting all charming to others since day one, but she believes it's all fake to garner trust with people like herself. It's now day 13, and it's time for the safety challenge. In this, the 3 nominees will use a workout machine and do as many leg reps, and then as many arm reps without stopping. The more they do, the more points they earn. The player with the most points after each has a turn will win safety. The weight added will be based on each nominee's preseason weight. Roddy is up first for this challenge, and he ends up completing 4 leg reps and 1 arm rep, totaling his score as 5. Sammy does 4 leg reps and 3 arm reps, making his score 7. It's down to Eliza, and if she plans to beat Sammy, she needs more than 7 reps total. She has her turn, and she ends up only doing 1 leg rep and 1 arm rep, meaning Sammy is the winner of the safety challenge. Back in the house, everyone learns Roddy and Eliza are the remaining nominees. Of course, this starts a mini-war between the two sides of the house this round as many people want Roddy gone, and many others want Eliza gone. Roddy starts his campaign with Crystal since she's someone he's very uncertain about within the game. However, she immediately tells him not to campaign to her as she's 100% voting out Eliza tonight. Roddy then goes to Mario to see where his vote lies, and Mario says he'll need to think about it. He's not completely sure where he will go yet, so he wants to have chats with others first. Roddy reminds him that keeping him means it's another person attacking the Carmen Kingdom that seems to be herself, Eliza, Ray, Charlie, B. Marie, Telly, and maybe even Cassandra. As for Eliza, Ray is one person who confirms he's keeping her around as he trusts her way more than Roddy. Other conversations linger, including one with Pascal and Charlie, and Pascal confirms he's still voting Roddy out as he understands he's a threat in the long run. Finally, a chat occurs between Florence and Hannah as Hannah expects the vote to be Roddy tonight. Florence claims he's definitely leaning towards Roddy, but is he lying, or is he giving up on the plan to vote Eliza? Well, it's time to find out as night approaches, meaning it's time for the eviction ceremony. The discussion starts off with Roddy making it clear that him and Eliza probably needed safety today more than Sammy. He continues by stating Eliza is someone people should be concerned about, because she's always dipping her fingers in other alliances, essentially playing the middle. Eliza then takes time to defend herself, claiming she picked a side after a few rounds and stuck to it ever since. Roddy then exposes her as he mentions she's trying to get everyone in the house to work with her. He knows she has had many conversations with people about wanting to work with them, but Eliza says this is false and is a tactic Roddy is attempting to use to get her out. Before the voting begins, Cassandra glances over at Florence, and they both nod as a form of silent communication. Everyone gets their chance to vote, and the results are in. 13 votes were cast, and one nominee received 5 votes, and the other received 8. Eliza received a total of 8 votes, meaning she has been evicted from the house. Eliza looks around and squints as she tries to understand why people voted for her. Cassandra and Florence avoid eye contact with her. Eliza tries to stay classy by hugging Roddy. She also hugs B. Marie, but then gives up on the rest and refuses to hug them. Before she officially leaves, she warns everyone to watch out for the guys in the house. Mario tells her to get out and calls her desperate. She finally leaves and laughs to herself. See you all for episode 7.
Next time on Big Brother International. After an 8-5 vote sending Eliza packing, a new 9-6 split in the house is formed, with Hannah having to pick a side. However, not everyone knows about the split. With Carmen suspecting some snakes, Cassandra gets on her radar. Will Cassandra be in danger, or will the majority alliance have control? Find all of this out on Wednesday's episode.
Eliza's final thoughts. Eliza is sure that the guys are working together now since the vote was super close and she ended up getting 8 votes. She feels like some people believed Roddy during his speech at the eviction discussion. She calls it a fair game move on his end as it likely saved him from going home. All in all, Eliza feels like she played better strategically this season than last time she played, but people forgot that Roddy got second and she didn't even make top 10 in BBI1.